I'd now like to call Tracy Hahn Burkett, and on deck will be Mitch Kopat. Okay, on deck. Welcome to House Education.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Tracy Hahn Burkett from Bow, and I'm here both in my personal capacity as a mom and as the leader of the Kent Street Coalition Working Group on Gun Violence Prevention. And I'm going to try and speak really fast to get everything in. I've understood all sides of this issue for decades, ever since my first job out of college working for a U.S. Senator on the Judiciary Committee. I've talked with hundreds of gun owners. Over the years, I've heard just about all of the arguments. I understand both sides. But I also recognize that there are other interests at issue here, other people whose rights count just as much as the rights of gun owners, our children. No rights, either in our federal or our state constitution, are absolute. Neither constitutional provision setting forth the right to bear arms holds any superior right over all other rights. Public safety is a legal, legitimate state interest. And what could be a more obvious state interest than safeguarding the lives of our children? And I just want to add that this argument that laws won't stop criminals isn't a gun violence argument. It's an argument against having any laws at all. I don't want my kids caught in a shootout or to have to go into a terrified lockdown because someone's parent is walking in again with a gun, or because someone no one really knows enters the building with a gun. Kids see these shootings in the news all the time. They know what can happen. They're scared enough. They don't need more of that, and neither 6 nor 16-year-olds need to spend more time crouched in closets contemplating whether they're living the last moments of their lives. I keep hearing that banning guns will make schools targets, that it's like hanging a sign on the door saying, "Come do your shooting here." But that's just preposterous. Again and again, if you look at the facts in these school shootings, you find that the shooter had a personal connection to the school. Columbine, Virginia Tech, Newtown, San Bernardino, Parkland, Santa Fe, Texas, and more. In each of these cases, the shooter didn't wake up one morning and say, "I'm going to find a gun-free target because I feel like killing some random people today." No, these shooters had personal connections of one kind or another to the particular schools at which they committed their horrific acts. So saying that a policy of no guns in schools will invite shooters to these schools is just disingenuous. I want to make one last point about the emotions around this issue. I have a 17-year-old son in high school and a 13-year-old daughter in middle school. People say not to get emotional about these policies. Don't get emotional about kids barely out of preschool dying in a hail of gunfire and no one caring enough to do anything to make sure it doesn't happen again. Don't get emotional about high school kids texting their parents goodbye, "I love you," because they believe they're going to die in the next few minutes. Don't get emotional when a student filming his escape from his school shows the bodies lying in the hallway, and one literally makes my breath stop because one of those bodies looks just like my son. You become emotional. My question is, why isn't everyone? Why have we decided as a society that our guns in our hands every minute of every day is so important to us that we won't even put common sense restrictions on carrying them that won't hinder legal activities in any meaningful way, but will help safeguard the lives of our children? Look, talking about school safety in an age of continuously occurring school massacres without addressing the problem of proliferation of guns is like looking at the opioid epidemic and examining all the factors except drugs. You'll get to some of the issue, but you'll never make a real dent because you won't get to the heart of the problem. I urge the committee to vote ought to pass on HB 564.
Thank you very much. The question, may we have a copy of your statement?
I've scribbled, so I will
That's
email
fine.
it to you.
You take everything. Any questions? Thank you very much for being here. I now call
Truck TV.